If you're watching this right now as a creative, as a producer, highly suggest you guys to take out a pen, a piece of paper, write down everything that I'm about to say for the next 15 minutes. Oftentimes, I get asked the question, how do you maintain constant inspiration? What I'm about to tell you is gonna give you results, because I had to identify this in my own life and see how is it applying. And I realized I've applied this for a long time. I just never knew this is what I was doing to stay inspired. What is inspiration? Inspiration is a compound word. So you have inspire, right? So I'm gonna write out inspire. Let's do inspiration first, and let's do inspire. Now, what does inspire mean? So if you look up inspiration or inspire, it says fill with the urge to do or feel something, especially to do something creative. Pretty straightforward, okay? But what's also unique is it's an action, it's a verb. To breathe in air, inhale. Little interesting, right? So inspire not only means the urge or the ability to feel something or especially do something creative, but the second similar definition also is to breathe in air. Inhale. The origin, even for the word inspire, comes from the Latin root inspirer, Middle English inspire with an E, from Latin inspire, breathe or blow into. Into, breathe, the word was originally used of divine or supernatural being in a sense of impart a truth or idea to someone. So off rip, we're talking about air, right? Now, how air works, if you're very curious about just a very basic thing, what causes air to happen? Something has to physically blow the air, or there has to be some sort of motion, right? So even when you think about it, when you take a deep breath in the morning, or when you even take a deep breath during the day, you fill your lungs and then you blow out. And there's a motion. There's a inhaling and an exhale. Those are motions. So inspire means to basically breathe. Breathe in or out air. And the way that air works, you need motion to create air. So peep game on this. Motion to create air. Now, if we were to look up the Asian part of inspiration, what does Asian mean? So I'm going to put dash Asian. A statement of meaning of a word or a word group or a sign or a symbol. B, the action or process of defining. Check this out. The action or process of. The action or process of. Asian. Check this out. Means the action or process of. So inspire means to breathe in or out air. You need motion to create air. The process of breathing. Now, from a literal standpoint, I'm talking about breathing. But what if it was a little deeper than that? What if it meant the motion to create the motion, the repetitive action, the action or process of, motion. Hold on there, player. I got something important to tell you. If any of you guys who are watching want to watch all this back, I currently have a thing going on called Full Studio. Access $8 per month for the entire catalog of all these Twitch streams. It goes back to 2021, all the way up until right now. As well, the Access Plus option that gives you access to the catalog, the consultations, and a 30% discount code to anything I drop in the future for my sound packs right here. So if you're watching this, cop the full access, please. I'm gonna walk away now. For more information, cop something from my store, wait for the email, and join the Discord for more. Now back to the video. And I have a great example of this, right? You know when you're inspired by someone is when someone does something that's inspiring. And that thing inspired you to take action. What they did was create motion. They created motion, pushed air, and that air created the urge for you to create. Simply, it takes someone's motion to then create your motion. I'm going to let you sit with that just for a second. It takes motion to create motion. So if I were to make something insane and you get inspired from it, that means I was moving and now it makes you want to move. Would it be how to stay inspired would basically mean to be in a constant state of motion? Blew my mind. So you guys know how I create a lot of beats, right? I found that I was most inspired when I was consistently doing something that involved me making something. Because when I make something, I'm acquiring motion recorded, like me on the drums. I'm putting motion down on the drums and printing it on a recording. That way you can play it back and listen to it. And you listen to it, that motion inspired you or gave you the urge to also then make music. So how I stay in a constant state of inspiration, I need to breathe. I breathed on the kid. I sat on the piano and you can go back and watch any of my YouTube videos. You will constantly see whenever I'm making music, I am constantly moving. The answer to constant inspiration is to constantly move. Now, what's funny is this. Constant motion isn't just physical motion, but emotion, mental motion. What are you intaking? What are you putting out? And so this is why I constantly have urged everybody who watches to develop a routine. Now, a practical usage of this is this. This is my routine, usually in the mornings whenever I'm not traveling and whatnot. Wake up early in the morning. Maybe it might be early in the morning if you can, if you have a job, let's say you work. Start a part of your day where you are either taking in information or you feel that urge to make something, that thing that makes you want to be like, I want to make a beat right now. There has to be a small component that allows you to be able to take in and then put out. So constant inspiration comes from constant movement, constant motion. And anytime that you notice that the inspiration isn't hitting is because the motion has slowed down. And it's really unique to see what happens when you stop and you try to get back into it. The motion isn't as fast. And I'll be honest, because I'm exhausted, I had just traveled. I could have easily gotten off the plane yesterday and not made a thing. But I heard what Kendrick did for Not Like Us. And I was really inspired to take Ether from Nas and then take Kendrick Lamar and blend it together. I found myself in a space where I wasn't putting out much, but then I realized I wasn't taking in anything either. Ain't that crazy? The moment I stopped making music, the moment I stopped feeling inspired is the moment that I have stopped taking in information too, because I've been so burnt out on trying to make stuff. So I didn't take much time to just intake information. I could easily sit, for a day, like maybe 20 minutes and listen to an album, highly suggest you to listen to some music, listen to something you like, and maybe it not even be music. Lately, I've been learning more about life principles. And what's funny about the life principles thing is that the life principles has explained why what I'm doing has worked. I think for the longest, I've never understood how it worked. I just knew it worked and I'm gonna just keep on doing it. But now that I know how it works is through the intake of new information constantly. And I realize a lot of the beats that I've made, even my last albums, my last several projects have come from me going through dissecting little bits and pieces of what I like and enjoy to create what I like. You know what I'm saying? And I never knew how important that was until I was not in motion. I was not in motion. Let's say you don't want to make any music. Well, listen to music. Listen to information about music. Listen to people who talk about music. Listen to Pharrell Williams talk about life. You will more than likely be inspired. Listen to a Neptune's project. Listen to Justified by Justin Timberlake. Listen to the new Four Bats album. I like the new Four Bats album, by the way. Maybe without the Kanye joint at the end, but God bless Kanye. That's basically how it works. I'll never forget 2021 came and it was December and I got that video from George Clinton. He was like, inspire yourself. And I always wanted to know why in the world he said that. He said it because I was already creating. I was already making the amount of music I needed to make the funk will prevail. Now that I know actively that I was in a constant state of motion, that's the secret. and for anybody who is trying to, don't try. Create motion. But I hope that makes sense. I hope that helps somebody. And Yeah, inspiration comes from the constant state of motion.